Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Andy, 2 of my 3 teams in the World Cup got eliminated in the knockout rounds. So you would think I would be in a little bit of a deep, sad mood, but you would be wrong. Because the NFL, my goodness gracious, did it break in my favor today. I'm kind of blown away by these results, but it is going to have been a very, very, very good day once we count all the pieces here. This was a good day, Andy. How you doing?
Good, pretty good. Pretty easy Packers cover. Basically any sort of live unders, second half unders in the Broncos game were
Ravens money line
incredibly easy. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of faith in that. I just kept taking more unders in that one. I had a choice between the Chiefs plus 4.5 and the Chiefs over 25 team total. And I couldn't.
Oh my God.
I know I couldn't. I ended up splitting it. I ended up splitting the bet, so I lost a little juice. But I remember really thinking about the team total because I'm like, God, they get the ball in the second half. This was when they had 3 points in the second quarter at some point. So I was kind of pissed on the missed field goal. I guess I could have gotten them both, but also happy that the Bengals didn't kick a field goal here at the end to make me lose both. That game somehow stays under with I don't know how many yards. Actually, you know what? There was only about 800 yards in that game. So fairish. I mean, it's a fairish result, but there's going to be some weird box scores we're going to get into. And should we buck into it right away? You want to talk Thursday? I'm pleased with us.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Really was. I love the over. I really liked both off, and then it became painfully apparent that we were on the wrong side due to the game plan by the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And we did something we don't do. We never do this. We make 2 bets in the second half. We liked them both so much. We said, not only are we taking this under, we're going to take a side too. And lo and behold, the Patriots continue to do bupkis, and we got the double. And boy, Sam Lipscomb. The Ravens really fucked over what would have been a good, amazing teaser day. And at that point, when it became apparent that they weren't going to cover the teaser, I started cheering against them really hard.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
I'm like, what if
I want them to lose too? I know.
Yeah, what if Cincy wins?
Dude, and they did.
Where are you going?
And they did, man.
And they did.
I want to get a little boost here for my camera so I can change my.
Give it a little boost.
There we go.
Anything else from you on Thursday before we get into the slate?
I mean, the Bills are kind of the sleeping Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, that team's not healthy. They've now played 3 in a row on the road. They're just winning. When they get right, they're going to be scary. And they still are alive for the 1 seed thanks to the 2 results in the afternoon today.
Yeah.
So that was huge.
100%.
Huge for the Bills. Anything positive Bills you have in pocket. Even Josh Allen MVPs, I think, are back from the dead.
Yeah, I think both, especially with the narrative around Mahomes losing a game today, although that run, we'll get to that run when we get to that game. What's first up in the rotation?
It is the Jets versus the Vikings. The Vikings.
Boy, not easing into this, are we?
No. So the Vikings not only won, but covered. Was that the right side? Probably not.
So when you lose the total yardage, and there was no garbage time in this game.
No,
there were
to the final whistle.
There were no drives where either team had their entire drive was less than even 20% win probability. Maybe early the Jets were kind of low, but with the time decay, probably not. But the fact that there was really no garbage time and one team outgained the other team by 200 yards, 5.9 yards per play to 4.3. And like, how do you lose a game like that? I mean, the answer is
Just
pretty
2 turnovers. Yeah.
turnover battle, and then 1 for 6 in the red zone. JETS.
Yeah, you know what? The
Yuck,
final
yuck,
turnover
yuck.
was the last play, right?
Yeah, the final turnover was the second to last play. I think they had to kneel once, but
They kneeled. Yeah.
the 1 for 6 in the red zone and the 2 turnovers are kind of hand in hand. Like there was a turnover in the red zone late, but yeah, the 2 picks. That's how you negate beating the shit out of a team yardage wise, and really
I think
bunch of nice drives. And the bend but don't break thing that the narrative you hear from announcers all the time, it's annoying, but that's kind of what Minnesota did. They shored it up in the red zone. 1 for 6 in the red zone, man. That's rough. They outrushed them.
The Jets were
they
2 of 5 on 4th down. The Jets turned it over on downs 3 times. Man, I mean, I think you were going here, but classic Jets football. like I think if you're a Jets fan, you're probably watching this, looking at the box score, like, yeah, okay, this feels about right. I mean, Mike White had 50 pass attempts today. I don't think that's how you want to live. The Jets defense gave up some just some inopportune scores early in this game that put them behind the 8 ball. Mike White had 57 pass attempts. Jesus. He was 31 of 57. I don't think you want to live your life with Mike White attempting 60 passes if you're the Jets. Zon of the night was fine. I mean, everybody else on that team really just didn't really have any pop. Garrett Wilson had an enormous day. And by the way, who's the rookie of the year? Offensive rookie of the year could be freaking anyone.
And that was the question once we got to the afternoon games. If the KW3 injury is multiple games, then Garrett Wilson very live. I know the Steelers we saw again. It's hard to overcome all those interceptions, but you have a quarterback who's starting to win some games late. In Mr. Pickett, you have Christian Watson, who's anytime the ball is in his hands, he's in the end zone just magically. Also, Drew, I think your computer mic is picking up your kind of echoey.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think your little the one you're holding up. Well, you're just holding it up, and I don't think it's picking it up.
Oh, really?
You want to check that? Yeah, you sound a little rough. But the Vikings continually to be unsustainably lucky when it comes to that stuff. Although the red zone defense was nice. When they needed a score later in the game to put a little space, they got it. Cousins wasn't horrible, but I mean, nobody really stood out for Minnesota today. It was a ho-hum performance, and the Jets were probably the better team. Jets probably should have scored. I mean, they had 486 yards. What's that come out to?
Well, the red zone futility. I think
there we go.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the game. You replay this game, I think, 100 times. It's probably going to be 50-50 here. Jets, Minnesota. So if you bet the Minnesota Vikings and you got the cover, count yourself lucky. If the over, I think, was a little lucky. But with all those yards, I guess maybe not. Maybe the over was absolutely the only correct bet in the game. But either way, it was a weird one. Let's move on to another weird one, Denver, Baltimore. The Denver defense did their job, Andy. They held the Baltimore Ravens to 3 points for 58 minutes in this game. Denver defense did their job. Denver offense figured out a way to put them in a hole that they lose. Shouldn't be surprised, I suppose, even though it was Tyler Huntley for most of this game, not Lamar Jackson. Can't really handicap injuries. That was obviously a big one. I feel like if Lamar is the quarterback for the full 4 quarters here, this is probably 21-9, not 10-9. I don't know. What's your read?
Yeah, I don't. It's good for them. Good for Huntley getting the win. But yeah, if Lamar's in, I think they have maybe at least 1 or 2 successful drives in that second half. I didn't really get a ton of updates on him. It was just kind of he's out with a knee injury. I don't know if anyone has any sort of update. They're saying it's not season ending. There's somebody that tweeted this out. It was, I mean, Harbaugh said it, I guess. said we just need to know if it's like day to day or week to week. So we'll find it. And yeah, Broncos unders. I know I said I wasn't going to bet it, but then I watched part of the game and just started betting live unders. Like, 29? I don't think we can get to that. That seems like, and then especially once Huntley came in, it was like, wow, this game might not hit 20, and it did not. So Broncos unders, and when does this Denver defense quit? As Sam asks in the chat, it is.
I mean, they showed up today. I don't know.
I know, but it has to be so maddening. And I know, like at this point, your season's dead, and it's at this, it's not like the offense isn't getting us any wins. Like these are all guys who are going to be paid down the road based on their performance. Like they can't quit. They have to keep playing because right now every stat they put up is just a couple extra bucks in the piggy bank later on when they sign their next contract.
Yeah, look at the Rams today. The Rams didn't quit. That team fought hard, tooth and nail, especially on the defensive side, even though no Aaron Donald was, and just they're down to nobody. Yeah, I mean, bummed that the Ravens teaser leg didn't come through. Of the round robin teasers, which I think I had 7 in play, this was the only leg that didn't cash today.
Yeah.
And it was because of the Lamar Jackson injury, so it stings a little bit. If the Ravens were gonna not cover the teaser, I kind of wish they had lost.
That's where I was. I'm like, don't win by 1, just lose.
Although at the same time, like losing Lamar Jackson literally turbo nukes this team. Like if he's out for a couple of weeks, they are absolutely nuked. So he's there. He was their entire offense. That was why it was kind of weird that they decided to build in that direction, but that's fine. Pittsburgh, you mentioned, beat the Atlanta Falcons. Pittsburgh could. We're not going to get the fucking number. With Pittsburgh Baltimore. God damn it.
No, it won't be up. I was just going to say, so that's going to be off the board probably till tomorrow.
God damn it. Oh, well.
So the Steelers are 5-7, and they're only 2 games back from the 7 seed.
They're live.
So like the Browns, Steelers, Patriots, Chargers, maybe even the Colts and Raiders are kind of like the 7 seed is going to be a race to the bottom, especially if the Jets keep, losing close games. The Jets could have really solidified that spot. Obviously, the Bengals did a lot to, I'm going to keep saying solidify what
put themselves in. Yeah,
get themselves in a position.
Bengals and the Dolphins are in the driver's seats for 2 playoff spots, I would say, but that 7th spot is absolutely wide open. You nailed it. I think any of those teams can go steal it.
I didn't watch this game. I remember talking on the Wednesday pod. We both said Pittsburgh's probably the right side at a short number, but do you really want to get involved in a game where we're expecting Kenny Pickett to just keep doing it? Like we've never seen him play well 2-3 games in a row. We have no sample size, and now he has to do it on the road. I guess it did get a little squirrely at the end, but clearly Pittsburgh was the better side. They were better through most of the metrics. There was only 1 turnover in the whole game. That was the Falcons. A lot of penalties in that one. 13 penalties.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of this game.
Both teams. Yeah, the only thing I saw from this was Najee Harris trying to dig a trench with a guy. My God, just threw him down. That was pretty awesome.
All right, let's keep moving to Tennessee, Philadelphia. So I kind of looked at Tennessee, Philly going into this game as a referendum on Philly, and they answered every question. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, they have a mandate.
Oh my goodness, they have a mandate. Yes, that's good way to put it. The run defense did their job.
Hurts electric.
Amazing.
They didn't even do much on the ground. I mean,
no.
Miles Sanders.
That was the idea.
They didn't have to.
Yeah, that was the idea. It was literally like, hey, you're gonna have an opportunity here. If you can make precision passing downfield, then you're gonna win this game comfortably, and they did. Hurts was unbelievable. Very, very, very solid. I think he probably put himself back in the MVP conversation. And you know what is so stupid that this is how this goes, where it's literally like, Pat Mahomes lost. He's not the MVP anymore. like
he's not good anymore.
Like that. But that's the way that these markets act. It's so dumb. But Josh Allen's going to be back in the mix. Jalen Hurts is definitely going to be in the mix. Tua is not. And I think Lamar Jackson is probably out of the running now. But
yeah, Tua, all those interceptions really gonna dig at his odds. It should be Hurts, Mahomes, then Josh Allen, but Josh Allen will be a little closer to the pack at this point. And we can sit and talk about how great AJ Brown is. AJ Brown's always been great. Devonta Smith, though, 5 catches on 8 targets for $102 and a touchdown.
So here's the thing. That was the matchup, right? Like, you knew that the Titans were thin in the secondary, and you knew that they were going to put their guys on an island on the sidelines, sometimes in the middle of the field. And if that connection Hurts Smith was live, then Eagles were going to win comfortably. And it was, and they did. Like, I feel like that's kind of all there was to this game. Titans might go 7-10. Is that crazy?
No, actually, this is another one too.
They could still win the AFC South at 7-10.
This is another one too where I bet live. It was nothing's working for Tennessee. I'm just gonna bet Philly, like, in game there. And they rewarded me by not kicking field goals. I love that. I love betting on a team that finishes their drives. That was awesome to see. And not a lot to say about this, but Hurts was great. He may be your MVP favorite. I never quite have a grasp on how those markets are going to jump up come Sunday night, Monday morning. The defense was really good.
The 1 seed in the AFC is still your most likely MVP winner. Hurts is by default if no one goes out and seizes that. Anyway,
Burrow probably sneaking into the back end of this conversation too. There's probably four quarterbacks we're talking about, and then to limit Derrick Henry to 2.7 a carry.
It was good work.
And I know the game script got away from it, but I mean, traditionally, even when the Titans game script is turned into we need to throw the ball, they still run Derrick Henry. They just didn't have sustainable drives to get it done. They lost the time of possession by about 5 minutes, and they just were terrible on third down. So they weren't having the drives to use Derrick Henry repeatedly. And he was held to 30 yards today.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The Jacksonville Jaguars could have taken advantage of Tennessee continuing to lose by clawing their way back into the AFC South race. Instead, they spent all week patting themselves on the back for such a great win last week, and then promptly the defense just shit themselves against the Lions. They gave up 31 first downs in this game. Lions were 8 of 12 on third down efficiency. Lions gained over 400 yards, 6 yards per play. Did not turn the ball over. This was one-way action from Jump Street. I regretted teasing the Lions and not just betting them on the alts, obviously. But this was one-way traffic Detroit. And honestly, Detroit at 5-7, not out of the mix thanks to the result in New York.
This is the reason the Vikings are not hanging that banner yet. If the Lions would have lost, the Vikings would have clinched the North. But as it is, the Vikings would lose out, the Lions win out, and the Lions would be your NFC North champions. The Lions could be a 3 seed, which is, I mean, it's not going to happen.
The roar, Andy.
It's not going to happen, folks. I'm just saying, mathematically, especially the way the NFC South has gone, we'll have some more fun with that tomorrow. The Lions could be a 3 seed. That's
as you look at the Vikings schedule. Are there any gimmies?
It's the Vikings. They're all gimmies. They're just going to win them all at the end in a lucky fashion.
That's like the opposite.
It's not.
You're basically saying they're all coin flips.
Yeah.
So the Vikings are all coin flips.
The Colts have taken a big drop off. We'll see them tonight at home against a team that's might be quitting a little. That's probably a win. Bears late kind of depends on the Fields injury. He said the shoulder was hurting again after he took a hit today. I didn't.
The biggest gimme on the schedule might be Packers.
I didn't want Justin Fields to suffer a long-term injury, but I wanted him to have a big scare because fuck that front office and coaching staff playing him.
Yeah,
I know he wants to play, but like, there's no the benefit on that seems silly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
it turned out to be a good result for the Bears by losing that game. And obviously a good result for me because I had the bad number on the Packers. Never in doubt. Caesars has Baltimore and Pittsburgh as a pick.
You know what I like better? Pittsburgh +4, which is what we had.
Yeah, and Bears
2 days ago. God damn it!
Bears regular season win totals are not quite home. That was another reason I was pissed about starting Justin Fields. But currently, the Bears would have to go 4-1. How many games do they have left?
I just like that was right side, right result. Right, like the Packers should have won the game. Packers should have. The total should have gone over, and that's how it played out. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, we added we said that on the podcast. Drew said that to me. Said if Field starts, you know what the actual hedge is. It's betting the over. So I had the over, and I was looking at as the game was progressing. I'm like, oh, this is not going the way it's supposed to go. So I need the Packers to score a little. So it was a great fourth quarter for me.
Yeah.
Minnesota is a short favorite. We'll get to that one. That's probably about right. But the Vikings legitimately going 0-5. Just
not a question.
With some regression. I mean, the
they
Lions
could lose out for sure.
The Lions winning all their games would be tough. I mean, once. Yeah. So and it's funny too. The magic number for Minnesota is 1. It is either a win or a Lions loss, and
they
play each other. So
if they tie, I think it probably helps the Vikings more.
No, if they tie, a tie would also clinch the division, I believe.
Okay, all right. Because there was a tie today, Andy.
Yeah, I was going to say teams don't tie.
The next one? Is that the next one? Because I lost my screen.
All right, four games left for the Bears. Yeah, the Bears would have to win out to ruin their regular season win total. I cashed one today, though. I had Minnesota over 9. That might have been a case where they were 8.5, and I sold it because I have that at plus money. So
winner.
Don't know if I deserve it this early, but congrats to the Vikings.
No, that was correct. That was the correct call, regardless of how the rest of the season plays out. The Vikings were going to make that number. What's next on the rotation?
The tie.
Is it okay? So I
almost went back and listened to our show, Drew, because I feel like there's a clip of me saying, I think these are like the exact same team. I think I make this like a pick 'em. Why am I getting points with the
everything?
Giants?
Every single media hit I did all week, I was like, this game should be a pick 'em. There's no separation between these two teams. Like this should be a pick 'em.
Super funny.
It ends in a tie. I watched a lot of this game. Sadly, it was awful. It was miserable. I would not recommend anyone going back and watching it. You can skip this one. You're not going to learn anything.
I had this on one of the smaller screens. Yeah, it was
miserable.
It was kind of miserable.
It probably should have gone over. I mean, if you had an over 40, over 41, you're probably either just like, how in the fuck did I push, or how did this lose?
Getting it to overtime and not even getting a field goal.
I know, and there were some drives that it looked like it was going to happen too, and then they just fizzled right where it mattered most. Both offenses just couldn't make a high leverage play to save their lives, except the tying drive for the Washington Commanders. Taylor Heineke was just slinging it. It was weird. Most of the betting angle on the Giants, or a lot of it, came from they're good at protecting the football, and the Commanders were loosey-goosey, and or at least inviting it with all the turnover-worthy plays.
Yeah.
And then sure shit, Daniel Jones sets up the Commanders with a short field right off the bat, and it was like, are you fucking kidding me? No. But 10-0.
Washington did have 3 fumbles. They only lost one.
Yeah, classic. But yeah, the Giants clawed their way back into it after spotting the Commies a 10 spot. I think New York should have won this game. I think they probably feel cheated with the push, with the tie. I feel cheated on my money line bets for the Giants, certainly.
So here's something. I did not watch overtime. How close was the kick at the end? I know it was a really long kick. Like, was it even remotely like, hey, it almost made it, or
I wasn't
just
watching.
Embarrassing? I didn't see. I just caught the byline saying they missed a long field goal.
When it was Gano and it was 58 yards, I was tuned out. I was on to the afternoon games. I was like, this is ending at a tie.
Who's and then
what did
who does
people in
this
the chat
benefit?
say? Did
5
they see
yards
it?
short. Yeah.
5. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Short.
It was yeah.
And truthfully, this is beautiful news for one of the teams that plays tonight, as when you're looking in the rearview mirror as the Dallas Cowboys, realizing like, hey, the Eagles are a decent home favorite. They probably don't say that in meetings. Like, hey, they're a 6 point or a 5.5 point favorite, guys. They're gonna probably lose that game or win that game. But it was always watching this one, I suppose, in the afternoon if you're Dallas getting ready, because one of these teams is gaining ground on you in Dallas and Washington, or excuse me, New York and Washington. So kind of nice that, Dallas had 8. It was 8-3. One of these teams was going to have 8 wins right next to him, and now they don't. Ties always make for a weirdness, but
yeah. And honestly, Washington. I mean, the Giants may still end with 7 wins after all this.
And yeah, as it currently sits, the Seahawks are back above Washington by lieu of having the 7-5 record in the tiebreaker. So Washington would be out. No, it goes Cowboys, Giants, Seahawks in the NFC for your wild card teams.
Oh wow.
AFC currently is Bengals, Dolphins, Jets, Jets.
What's the Seahawks record?
Seahawks are 7-5 now. Okay. Washington 7-5-1.
Got it. And New York is 7-4-1.
New York is 7-4-1. Dallas 8-3. All right, what's next?
I don't know.
I closed it down too. Damn it! I was relying on you for this.
I was relying on you.
I know we might go out of rotation number here.
Okay, what else we got in the afternoon? We haven't talked about.
I was pointing this out to Dan too. Kind of a weird, just statistical anomaly. There were no 100-yard rushers during the 1 p.m. slate.
Wow.
And there was a bunch of teams that had like their quarterback was their leading rusher.
Weird.
It was kind of a goofy deal. So the next one would be Browns Texans. Team Rust wins on that. He didn't look
great. Do they?
He didn't look good.
If you were counting on Rust and you waited to get in live, you got a better number than the close.
No, I mean betting wise, you still got hosed because you if you were Team Rust and you bet on it, you also bet on Kyle Allen, who's atrocious.
Yeah, I feel like the Team Rust angle was wait and bet it live. It wasn't bet the Texans.
But also,
I don't think
both running backs.
I certainly wasn't advocating for that.
No, this was probably one of the teaser legs that, kind of an alternate teaser leg at 7. I bet a bunch of people used, but Watson was 12-22, 131 and a pick, got sacked once, quarterback rating 0.1% lower than Kyle Allen's. Like, this was a bad game to watch as well. And this was
I didn't watch a minute of this game. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at it and see if I can.
Yeah, it went punt return, fumble return, interception return. If you had the Browns defense in fantasy, that was the only way this game was fun for anyone.
And if you did, then you're a sick person, because there's probably the 31st highest scoring fantasy defense of the season. All right, let's keep moving to the afternoon
Packers
games.
Bears.
Oh, Packers Bears was in the morning. Yeah. That's right. That game happened. We already talked about that, I thought.
A little. It just came up because we were talking about the win totals. But yeah, Green Bay kind of turned it on at the end. I'm not sure. I guess I shouldn't say I'm not sure why. They are still not out of the playoffs. Like we said, that 7 seed in the NFC, there's like 10 teams that could end up there, and Green Bay is 5-8. They're not that far out of things. They could win the table. Should we, instead of talking about the game, should we talk about Green Bay's schedule?
Well, I mean, they're not mathematically eliminated. So Aaron Rodgers is going to continue to play his way towards recovering and winning this NFC North. If the Packers win the NFC North, man, we'll burn it to the ground.
I don't think they can win. They have 8 losses, and Minnesota has 10 wins.
Okay.
So they could get in on a wild card. Only the Lions or Vikings can win the NFC North at this point. And like we said, that's a pretty outlier result if we came down to it. But the Packers have the Rams at home. And yes, they put up a really good effort today, but it's still a team playing a backup quarterback who's missing Kupp and Aaron Donald. Like, you should be able to get that win. And then they have the Vikings and Lions at home. 3 of their last 4 games are at home, and then the other one on Christmas Day is in Miami. If the defense can manage anything, that's a game they can probably be competitive in. Like, Packers are not dead, which is wild to say considering how bad the season has gone, but they would need some things to go right. They probably, at minimum, 3 out of 4, more than likely, got to win all 4.
Yes, I would say so.
And then, yeah, Tua's ankle was dinged up in this game as well.
Everybody got hurt today. A lot of quarterback injuries. Are we out into the afternoon?
Yeah, Bears backers probably felt a little short shrifted there. They were most of the game. It was 18-0 fourth quarter by the Packers.
Not good.
And truthfully, like, if you had a Bears plus 5.5, you grabbed that early off the news.
You made a good bet. Yeah,
you made a good bet.
You should have just bet the over though.
You took one in the shorts a little there. So yeah, afternoon games. We'll start with the Seahawks and Rams, like we mentioned. The Seahawks have everything to play for. The Rams have virtually nothing to play for, but the Rams still are a bunch of grown men who have jobs, who need to get new contracts and perform well. And they get a little more out of the running game than I thought they would.
Yeah. You know what's weird,
They're live to win that game, man.
You know what's weird? There's a lot of narrative bullshit that goes into handicapping the NFL. And we know this from years of spinning narrative bullshit to handicap the NFL. Can you put yourself in the Rams locker room before this game in a halftime and tell me what happened? Because I feel like I can. I feel like it was very much Bobby Wagner screaming at everyone saying, I came here to win. We're not quitting today. This is our house. Like, I feel like Wagner in particular got these guys fired the fuck up to run through a goddamn wall. And they almost won. And it was weird at times seeing McVay be like, you know what, 4th and 2? Yeah, fuck it. Go for it. Right? Like everybody kind of.
They're almost a better team when they don't give a shit.
Yes, they almost are. But I can almost hear and see what was happening in the locker room with Wagner getting these guys fired up for this game because he wanted to beat the Seahawks.
Joff's, I think he might be talking about this. There were shots of this
were there?
out on the sideline. That's cool. I like Bobby. Like, Richard Sherman is probably the most recognizable name from the Legion of Boom. But
yeah, Wagner was there forever.
Always a Bobby Wagner guy. That guy just.
Yeah. Wagner and KJ Wright were.
He was not a boomer. Oh God, yeah, that linebacker. It was never boom or bust. Like, they were just always.
Oh, it's just super good.
High level, constantly, forever.
One thing I want to bring up: Wagner ended up with an interception in this game on the stat sheet. That was one of the most egregious "what are we doing here" calls that I've ever sat through watching the NFL. On the first replay, you see the guy clearly catches it and is down, and the play is over. Like, everything that happens, ripping the ball out after the fact was nonsense. And I'm literally like, oh, okay. They go to cut to commercial. I'm like, oh, that's going to come back. No big deal. They come back and the Rams are snapping the ball. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, huh? What? How is this even remotely possible that was ruled a pick? And so we still haven't figured out what's a catch, what's an interception, all of these years into it. And there were other plays like that today too. Like, the refs did not have a banner day today in the NFL. It was bad refereeing. And when things are this close and we're at this time of the season and your refs are impacting the wins and losses, that's bad. NFL needs to get control of this. I don't know what to
I'll
say.
have a shout out to that in the next game. But yeah, I mean, good job by Gino. Gino had a really good stat line. It wasn't maybe his best game overall, but he did it when he needed it. And
his pick wasn't a pick. I'll tell you that much.
That's fair too. And Lockett, stat line looks even better without that. But he was succumbing to more pressure than usual. He's better about running out of that. I think he was sacked 4 or 5 times, but my God, DK and Tyler Lockett were, I mean, everyone, it's, these two receivers, or it's, Waddle and Reek, man, it was Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf today. They both had huge games.
Yeah,
that was a
awesome.
really fun offense to watch, especially this is the kind of team that can win a playoff game because like you just saw, like they can get in a minus situation and play through it. So this will be very interesting.
They don't know they're not supposed to be. They don't know that they're supposed to be bad. Like they don't know. Yeah. They're young and inexperienced, having fun and winning games. And it's cool to watch. Go Seahawks. I hope they continue to succeed.
A couple people in the chat have mentioned Jimmy G out for the year. Seahawks a game back. The thing about the 49ers team is I don't know that they need a quarterback to win like 2 more games this season.
Andy, stop.
I'm worried. I'm worried that it's not going to matter.
You mean that they're still going to win the NFC West, and I'm going to be just F-bombing Brock Purdy. So F-bombing. Oh. I've got a voodoo doll with Brock Purdy on it. We're going to take him down. No doubt. Don't worry about that. But no, if Brock Purdy leads the Niners to an NFC West championship, am I going to be bent? Yes. Am I going to be insufferably upset? Yes.
Yes.
Almost certainly.
They got the Commanders at home. They got the Cardinals at home. Andy, they got the Raiders. Like
how many fucking times?
3 out of 5.
How many times did we talk about the Niners? And the whole case was always you can't trust Jimmy G to stay healthy. Like that was always on the table that he was going to miss games. And I ultimately we were so close to the end of the season and he was pretty much there and he avoided the big knee thing last week. And it was like, God, I don't know, man. I guess they are for real. No, Niners are done. Like they're not winning shit. Brock Purdy is not good enough. And I don't care how good the rest of the team is. Sucks for everyone.
I'll be interested. This is something I'm going to be looking for when these open back up is what the NFC West prices open up at come, tomorrow.
Wouldn't you expect the Seahawks favorite?
No, I would expect the Niners to be a short favorite. They have a game on them, and they have a game in hand.
But when are they playing? Isn't it next week?
Yeah. No, they play in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Because we don't have a line for that yet.
No.
That's going to be like Seahawks -6, man.
I guess I'd make it like 4. It's still an elite defense, and it's kind of a plug and play. Like Jimmy G isn't good. I know Brock Purdy's a big drop down, but man, it's I feel like he can win 2 or 3 of these last 5 games just off.
Well, he won a big one today, but
the fact that they have like 3 all-world running backs and one of them's a wide receiver, it'll come down to it.
Banged up too, though.
Those guys
they're all banged up. Damn, dude. Really? You think the Niners still win the West? Do you think they should be favored to win the West? It's a 2-team race right now.
I think they should be like -120. Seahawks should be like +110. And then I don't think anyone else is should have any win probability at all.
Okay.
And do you think they maybe sign a quarterback?
Who are you signing?
Cam
Newton. No.
Cam Newton might be a downgrade from Purdy at this point.
I mean, if they did that, it would be interesting.
It would be incredibly interesting. Shanahan with a gadgety quarterback.
I mean, Cam Newton's arm is done. It's been done for like 4 years.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's working for Amazon. He's looking fat and happy.
I know, but hey, we need you to work for like 6 to 8 weeks. It's like a part-time holiday gig.
I don't think that ever works.
No.
What about the old guys that were in the Shanahan system? Where are they now? Drew Brees. He was just killed.
Oh my God!
He was just killed in a lightning storm. Yeah.
You want to really get the media.
Yeah.
Charles Saul says, Tim Tebow, prove you can do it, Shanny. Nick Full. The trade deadline is come and gone. That's the issue here. I don't think you can trade.
who were the other? Yeah, no, you need to make some sort of weird deal where somebody cuts a guy and you compensate him, and that never works. Who are the other guys that were under, that started games when Jimmy G got hurt several years ago? What's that guy's name? Beathard? Where's CJ Beathard? Is he on another roster?
Probably. I mean, he's been a decent backup places. I think he is currently Jacksonville.
No, you're not getting him then.
Nick Mullins, I'm not sure if he's on a team. Nick Mullins wasn't horrible. It'll be interesting to see what they do. And what's Bledsoe up to?
He's selling wine. He's a wine guy.
All right. On to the next one. We had two, and yes, good win for them. Their defense really stepped up, and they needed it to against an offense that bit them a couple times.
Was that our entire reflection on San Francisco, Miami?
I mean, yeah, they went out. And got picks.
We got a lot more.
All right, go ahead.
To say about that.
Well, you just kind of got off on a tangent, so I moved.
Well, I didn't know we were on that game yet. Sorry, my computer fucked, so it's dead. I have no.
We were talking about the Seattle game.
All right, let's talk a little bit.
We're
about
done
Niners,
with the Seattle
Niners,
game. We'll go to the
Niners, Fins. So under was the right side all the live long day. Almost got there. The opening big play touchdown for the Dolphins was fluky, pun intended. The Dolphins 70-ish yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill was fluky, pun intended. And actually, you know what? Because I don't have my computer in front of me, Phillip Rivers was right-handed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tua is left-handed Phil Rivers. There's
Is he expecting?
No, there are so many parallels. The shot put, even on like a 50-yard pass attempt, he's shot putting it. Like it's Phil Rivers backwards. Like it scrambles my brain watching it. But though Phil Rivers and Tua are the same arm on the different side of the body, the Fins were uncharacteristically just kind of out of sorts in this game. Like this was going to be one of two ways. Either they were going to have a bunch of cool tricks in the bag and innovative stuff ready for this particular matchup, and they were going to cook, or they were going to be like, fuck, this team plays good defense. We don't know what to do. And it felt more like the latter. The interceptions obviously were hugely important. I don't really know how San Francisco kind of rallied and got it done once Jimmy G went out and Brock Purdy came in. There was a lot of just fluky high leverage single downs that broke in favor of San Francisco in this one.
And I want to give credit to whoever is sitting upstairs for the Niners, because both of those balls they challenged were clear catches in my mind when I saw them in real time, and they were
the second one?
Yes, but the angle that they showed
one
live.
To Gesicki?
Drew,
okay, sorry. Go ahead.
The live action, the first time you see both those plays.
Yeah, correct. I agree.
They were 100% catches. Yeah,
agree.
What you were gonna say there, yeah. Once you saw the second one, like the second angle, you're like, no way. Like he is all over the place. But but they were on those challenges like stink on shit. They were both great.
Yeah. The second one I want to bring up because the ref he had his face in the play basically, and he didn't see it. Like he basically just called it complete because he felt like if he didn't, then they weren't going to challenge it and they weren't going to get to look at it more closely or something. Like it felt like, when they allow a fumble to happen just so they're like, we can review it later. Like if we call it no fumble, then we can't review it. But if we call it a fumble,
you shouldn't have called that foul in the box so you could let France finish that awesome bicycle kick.
Oh, that was a fucking awesome bicycle kick. Yeah, they should have let him finish that. Giroud should have had himself a brace today. Surely. We haven't had a bicycle kick goal in a while in the World Cup. It's been at least 10 years. Anyway, the Dolphins deserve to lose, I guess. The over did not deserve to get home, but it does. Fine, whatever. I don't think I deserve to win an under on the Cincinnati Bengals game. The totals right now do feel like coin flips across the league. This was one of those examples. It ultimately gets home because of a defensive touchdown by the Niners. Unbelievable. The Niners defense is all universe. It's just I don't think that's going to be enough for them to do anything in the playoffs with Brock Purdy under center. That's my opinion. And honestly, they're going to have to go on the road and do it, which makes it even harder for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I think the Niners' path to winning the NFC West is just to win all 3 home games. Like, you got to win your 3 home games, go 3-2 down the stretch, and then the 49ers Seahawks would have a split if you lost in Seattle. I'm not sure how the tiebreakers would go from there. I'm gonna have to look at like division record and stuff. We'll get into that later on Wednesday, but yeah,
Seattle beat the Cardinals twice. Seattle beat the Rams once. Looks like twice is coming.
The Niners are 4-0 in division. So if they beat
one game left against the Cardinals,
and they beat the Cardinals and lost to the Seahawks,
they win. They win the tiebreak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, man.
So I think Brock Purdy 3-2 can get it done. It stinks because Seattle has been amazing. I still think Seattle has a very good chance. Like I said, it's a coin flip right now.
You know what, Andy? I'm gonna live with my chances. 40-1.
Yeah, no, don't hedge that.
40-1 chance that Brock Purdy can't go 3-2. that sounds like a bet. That's a bet.
Yeah, I would take that.
Yeah, that's a bet.
All right. Did you watch Chargers Raiders?
I watched a decent amount of it. Here's a wrinkle, or in little pull the curtain back. Los Angeles was subject to the Rams and the Chargers in the afternoon slate when the Bengals, Chiefs, and the Dolphins, Niners were playing. It was not good. It was not good. Plus the traffic, yeah. I watched a lot of the Chargers versus the Raiders game. For the first half, it felt like the Chargers should have pulled away and been laughing at the Raiders. But as is Chargers fashion, some fluky shit bounced in favor of the Raiders. They ended up with a little bit of a lead. Basically, the Raiders caught every break in this game, I felt like.
Yeah.
And the Chargers suffered from not having good pass protection, as was expected. The Raiders are going to work their way into the middle of the standings, even though they suck and they need talent and draft capital. Derek Carr, clearly not the long-term answer there, but he and Devontae Adams found a little something today, and it was enough to get the Raiders the win. Raiders were a good teaser leg, it turned out. Chargers were not. Ultimately, the AFC West is now over, even though the Chiefs lost. No other takeaways.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Chargers probably could lose out, and it wouldn't shock me. Like, that team is kind of a mess. The Raiders gave them a bunch of really good opportunities early in the game to score a bunch and to pull away and to just make it not competitive. And the Chargers really couldn't take advantage of it. That's a problem. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like for most of the first half of the game, I was like, God damn, the Raiders are so lucky to be hanging in here. And then the next thing you know, they're up like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. If they could have done some of the stuff we've seen over the last month with Devontae Adams throughout the regular, the whole of the season,
this team is going playoffs.
Especially with how well Josh Jacobs has looked, how well he looks. So yeah, the Raiders, like I said, I'm not betting this game because it has a very weird feel. I don't like either of these teams winning by a bunch. This total came right down to it too. I think it was 49.
Another one, yeah.
All
the totals.
It's sat at 47 for a long time.
Was there any total today besides the Broncos under that was a close call? Or that wasn't a close call, right? Like every other. every other total came
I
down
mean,
to
a
it.
bunch of them, yeah. That, like you said, the Niners one came down to a defensive touchdown. Seattle Rams, that one felt a little fluky-ish.
That one went over comfortably.
But yeah, the Giants one sat right on 40 for a long time. The Tennessee Philly was right there. Yeah, they were all real close.
Everything was right on the nuts.
All right, the premier game of the afternoon slate: the Chiefs and Bengals, and our Cincinnati Bengals. It looked composed. A lot of teams. I mean, because you're not living in a bubble. You can say, we take it one game at a time, and we can only play the enemy that's put in front of us each week, and we don't worry about what happened last week. But Christ Almighty, everybody in the world knows what the Chiefs do late in games when they're trailing, or what they do with a lead late in games. And this team really, both sides of the ball, kind of stepped up in the fourth quarter. They won the fourth quarter 10-0. They were trailing. They held them to that sack on third down was massive to make that
awesome.
Long field goal even longer. Mahomes didn't have a great day. 16 of 27, one touchdown. Obviously, he had his highlight was probably the rushing touchdown. That was amazing. But his day wasn't great. Burrows was a really good day. Then it turned out Mixon being gone didn't matter all that much. Samaj Kareem really stepped in. It might have been a plus, yes.
Mixon not being available is addition by subtraction in the Zach Taylor offense. Make no mistake about that. Let me ask you about the rushing touchdown, because that was a 4th and 3, if I remember right. Were you surprised?
4th and goal.
Were you surprised they went for it?
No, I mean, they've done stuff like that before. I think they had a play they really liked drawn up, which is funny because that's not what happened. Like, it was clearly a passing. It wasn't ever some quarterback draw, I don't think. It didn't look like that was designed. So, I mean, they really liked, the play that they had drawn up. And then they ended up having to go with a little bit of
just broken chaos.
Yeah, broken chaos and him running in, which was awesome. I mean, it was such a cool play to watch live.
I was pulling my hair out because I was literally like, this is uncharacteristic for them to go for it. And of course they get it. And it was like, oh shit.
It is funny. They will go for it in other parts of the field, but then when it gets closer to the goal line, they are a hey, we should take the points kind of team.
Take the points kind of team, yeah. Which is funny because their offense is the most successful in like all time. Like their success rate is approaching like God level.
Pacheco, he's playing great. It was funny. I had whatever not red zone, but the thing where there's like all the games are on at once on DirecTV at home. And I had the sound on for the Miami game, and they're talking about Tyreek between plays, and Tyreek Hill something as you're getting that angle where the player's running at you.
Yeah.
And it was Pacheco, and it was just weird hearing Tyreek Hill and watching number 10
run
at you. I'm right. Like, I just had like a weird, like a glitch in the Matrix thing.
There was a couple of that was not the only time that happened, by the way. There was a couple of times during the broadcast where they were chopping 10-10. Tyreek Hill, by the way, didn't quite show up Offensive Player of the Year today, but his case is much stronger. And the Niners kind of losing him defensively on the one broken big touchdown play was weird. I still don't know.
Yeah, he had a big stat line kind of day. This is where you yelled at me for extrapolating because he had to play a tough defense here, and he put up 50. But yeah, he probably moves ahead of Jefferson. Jefferson had a good game. Jefferson had a touchdown as well, but he didn't have 146 damn yards.
No, and that said, he has a quarterback that's throwing spirals, not shot puts. So
yeah, I think it goes back and forth for us this season.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's it. And I don't think Sauce is a lock for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I wasn't like, there wasn't big Sauce plays over the last. Tariq Woolen had a pick today.
He still leads the NFL in interceptions, if I count correctly.
He's not just the rookie leader; he is the leader.
Leader. And actually, like, he's in rare air for single season picks. And he could have had more. Like, he had a couple of huge plays today. Tyreek Woolen, He's not out of it.
If he could get 2 more, if he get like 8, man.
The problem is he needs to set a record because otherwise people in New York won't know that he exists. Yeah. Everyone in New York knows Sauce Gardner exists. They don't know who Tariq Woolen is or who he plays for. That's your problem.
You know what the record is for interceptions by a rookie though?
Oh God, this is great trivia. Is it a player name I would know?
Kind of. I mean, he plays for your
Crow,
local team.
Cromartie?
Dick Night Train Lane.
Oh,
in 1952 for the Los Angeles Rams, he had 14. I don't think that's never going to be broken. Not only that, he did that in 12 games.
Oh my God. Night Train Lane will live in infamy.
Paul Krause had 12 and 14.
Why did they call him Night Train? Was he like just super into the fortified wine?
No, that wine will fuck you up, by the way. I've had that. I bought some in Jamaica once. Orlando Thomas had 9 in 2000 or 95. I remember that season. That was a fun one for the Vikings. But even getting to 8 or 9 would be massive. It might get him there. He has to have a big game against Purdy. Let's get to this week's games before we have to start watching football again.
Let's do it.
I know you had your heart set on a big number on the Steelers. Not going to be so much. Otherwise, is there anything else on the board that pops off right away you want to talk about before we just going up and down?
Nah, let's just go up and down. That was the only one I really had eyes for.
Okay. I don't think he was a GNR fan. It was a long time ago. So Raiders Rams on Thursday. I mean, we can talk Monday real quick too. Buccaneers are 3.5-point favorites over the Saints. Low total in that one.
GNR named the song after Dick Night Train Lane is what we have to wonder.
Maybe.
That's what we're gonna ask. Anyway, Thursday's what?
Thursday's Raiders Rams. The Raiders are 6-point favorites. Did what we see today make you think the Rams shouldn't be? Oh man, the Raiders actually have like a competent running game though.
That should probably be a 7. Like that's
I don't want to be tilted by what I saw today with the Rams playing really hard, but
no, that might have been
the Bobby Wagner Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Rams level of effort I think was a direct reflection of their opponent, not how you can expect them to show up down the stretch. Raiders are the side this week. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm laying points with these clowns again. Last time I laid 6 with the Raiders, I got my fucking clock cleaned. I
don't bet Raiders games, so I abstain.
Yeah. All right, abstaining. What's on Sunday?
Total might be a little low, but I hate betting overs right now. The Vikings are 1-point road favorites against the Detroit Lions, who every single week, Amon-Ra St. Brown has a big game, and now he's going up against another suspect secondary. This is a defense.
Is so tough, man.
This was a defense that got just dummied between the 10s and bent, but did not break. I would say this is probably a better quarterback they're facing. This is a better running back they're facing. And with all due respect to Wilson and the gang, a better wide receiver core. The Detroit Lions don't have the record to show it, but especially when healthy, every part of their offense is better than the Jets as currently rostered. Like when it was Breece Hall, and maybe if you'd had Flacco and Breece on the field at the same time, it's a good team. But as far as skill position players, the Lions have something to say here. The Lions offense kind of trucking the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Here's my problem, Andy.
Just pull their shit again?
Here's my problem. This goes one of two ways, and you know what I'm going to lay out here.
Yeah.
It either goes the Lions are the supported side. Everybody's like, I can't believe no one believes in the Lions. And then they go and just get absolutely trucked. Or they went outright and it's comfortable. There's no in between here, I don't think.
How many points do you think are scored in both of those games? Higher total, but
52.
Yeah. It's probably a
51,
good
52. What it was the total?
52.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Yeah. No bet on that one. The Jets, coming off a disappointing loss, are 9.5-point underdogs to the rested, ready, and raring to go wagon circlers, the Buffalo Bills. Total 44.5.
Yeah, Bills.
That number's
over. Bills and over.
That number's probably short.
Yeah, by a touchdown ish.
That secondary is starting to come together a little, but
the Bills can get to 44. That's my opinion.
I think the Jets can finish some drives. This feels like a 35-20 game.
Yeah, lay the Bills, take the over, whatever you feel like.
I'm going to bet this over 44.5.
All right, let's do it. I'm in. As soon as this pod's over and I'm available, able to get back to my book, I'm going to bet this over.
Anything goes. 44.5. Philly Eagles. Philly is a 6.5-point. Philly Eagles Giants. 6.5-point road favorite against Danny Jones, Saquon Barkley, and Brian Dable. That's not much respect for what the Giants have done as far as the season goes. They're a team that's been able to stay in games. That said, the Eagles looked like a thunderfucker today.
I mean, the Eagles thunderfucking is your most likely outcome in this one, in my opinion.
I think if you like the Eagles, maybe just a team total over. It's gonna.
I don't think you can
27.
take what you saw from the Eagles today as just a shrug. That was a measuring stick game, and they passed every test. They can get it done now multiple ways, and they're going to exercise their advantages against this Giants team. I think the Eagles are the side. I'm going to think about this one some more, but this is Eagles or pass.
Yeah, I certainly am done. I bet some Giants this week. That's imagine sitting on a 2.5 and some money line for all of overtime, guys. Nobody needs that in their life again. Done with. I'm taking the Giants are taking a break. Bengals 4.5-point favorites.
You deserve a break.
The Bengals are 4.5-point favorites at home over the team that their stadium is named for, I think.
Paul Brown.
The Cleveland
and
Browns.
The Browns.
The Cleveland Browns, 4.5-point dogs, 49 for a total. The battle for Ohio commences. Watson flashed a couple times. Jesus, poor choice of words. I mean, he didn't look atrocious, but he didn't look great. And then at the same time,
it was a gross.
He didn't need to look good.
Dude, it was a gross start, but it was a happy ending.
Stop. all the scores by the
defense. Watson gets a happy ending in Houston. It's the headlines write themselves, Andy.
Oh yeah, if you're the New York Post or what's the New York paper that writes just the horrible headlines?
That's the Post.
It's the Post.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Cleveland Paycors. Yeah, that's the joke, I guess. Sorry, guys. I forgot they changed the name. Titans, 3.5-point favorites over their interdivisional rivals, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who
hungover. I think we play Jags here. That's
hungover.
My general feeling.
Jags' ability to probably play decent up front. And what was the injury status on the Trevor Lawrence? Like, I don't think.
Did he get hurt? Because I don't know that.
He was in and out.
Was he?
Yeah, he actually went to the locker room for a bit. So I want to make sure he's okay. And then also Treylon Burks got hit hard, and he was down for a while. So I need updates on a few injuries before I get into this one.
Okay. Never mind. Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in that. Panthers, 6-point dogs heading to Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington.
Panthers coming off a bye. It is PJ Walker time, or it is Sam Darnold time, or it's Baker Mayfield time. What is your guess?
I thought they were sticking with Darnold.
This is the Darnold show?
I think they said they're going to stick with him.
Why?
I don't know. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It's a horse apiece, and it's an interim head coach.
Do they want to win?
I don't think so. But at the same point, if they keep winning and the Bears keep losing, their offense is not horrid, though. Like, that's a lower total, 44. It might be something I take alive, but I think if I looked at my ratings right now, it would say that number's a bit short and should be 7, but I'm still
I'm
not
okay
excited
just hoping
I'm
for
passing
Seattle
on
to
it.
somehow, some way eke out a
Yeah,
win
you're
again.
just on Seattle money line.
Yes, just exactly. I don't need to add more. Thanks, though.
Here's what we always knew we were going to come down to when it came to the Denver Broncos unders. We're fine betting Denver Broncos unders all year because they were playing teams they could stop, and now they're up against the Chiefs.
The chefs, man. This was flexed out of primetime, right?
Yeah, this is now flexed down. So this is a 41.5. There is a 41.5 in a Chiefs game. And that defense has started to crumble a little. And yeah, they faced a backup quarterback for most of the game today. But this is crazy that we have a 41.5 in a game where the dog is a 10-point dog at home. 9.5 at the bookmaker.
God damn, dude.
And Randy has a point here. The Chiefs call the vanilla plays in these games. This could be an actual low-key horrible game to watch, where the Chiefs just win 24-4.
Like the Rams game against the Chiefs.
24-4. Yeah.
two safeties.
Two
safeties for the Denver defense.
Both of them at the same time. Although they are coming off a loss, can't fuck around here. You don't want to get caught in a spot where we need to. Oh shit, we messed up and we're down 3 going into half. We need to play good in the second half to not lose a bad game here.
That's true.
It's still good defense, so I'm certainly not into laying 10 points in the road, but under 41 is still a little tempting if they don't pull the good plays.
Yeah, it is.
Monday, the Patriots and Cardinals play. You want to guess the lines?
That's Monday's game?
It is in Arizona.
We got to watch the Patriots in primetime 3 more times. God damn it.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row is not enough. We need more Patriots in primetime. Cardinals are coming off a bye. They're at home. I'm going to guess this is Patriots -2.5.
Patriots -1, heavy juice, though, leaning towards, if you strip it out here, it's essentially a 2. They're hanging the 1 on the main line for,
yeah.
I'm not sure if that's just teaser protection by bookmaker, but
what's the
essentially
total
2.
on this one?
44.
It should be 40 here, probably. I think that's an over.
Yeah, extra time to prep. The offense just looked horrible. I'm sure that's what they're going to focus in on. And I don't know if Kyler's healthy, that offense still cooks.
Kyler's healthy.
I don't disagree.
Mobile quarterback against the Patriots defense. Every box checks for over for me. I think over 44 is the way to go there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about all this shit.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right.
Except for the Bills over. The Bills over is automatically going on.
The mobile quarterback thing versus Bill, that's still a thing. So
yeah, it's indoors. There's no weather. Mac Jones has been a lot more. I mean, he looks like he's. I honestly come out of that Thursday night game with respect for Mac Jones. I think I'm Team Mac.
I don't know if Joff is goofing with this. He says hearing it Steve Belichick play calling time.
What?
I think he might be goofing, but clearly, the offense doesn't love Patricia right now. So it'll be interesting to hear if there's something.
There ought to be something.
Hey, this guy's calling plays now this week, or it's a team effort here. I don't know how they're going to do it.
I don't want Steve Belichick calling them.
No.
All right, let's do a little more research there. One game we didn't mention, and it's going to be impossible to handicap this without injury information and without game, just team information. But we're guessing the Dolphins probably stay on the West Coast for the week before they play the Chargers. Is that right? That's the primetime game, right?
I would think so.
Mike McDaniel taking a page out of the Shanahan book and trying to get a little.
If somebody has actual info on that, that'd be great. But that does make sense, especially since he worked under Shanny. They'd been doing that for years at Greenbrier or whatever.
Yeah, my get, and especially with his connections to San Francisco proper, they probably have something lined up where the Miami team is staying is in the Bay Area for the week, and then going to LA or going straight to LA and spending the week.
Stephen Lackman says they are staying, confirmed. Yes. So good for them. That makes sense.
So what kind of opener are we going to see for the Dolphins? -3, under 3? Are we going to get a shot at Dolphins under 3? I want Dolphins big time this week.
I think it's probably 3.5.
You think?
It depends on the Tua injury. If that ankle is a problem, if he's like questionable during the week, I think you'll get your number. But at that point, you're risking betting into.
Could you tell watching the game?
Not really. It's something I read about at the end. Apparently, it was kind of an end of the game thing. So, if he's like questionable, not practicing parts of the week, it's probably 2. If it's maybe 1.5. If he's healthy, it might cross 3.
I don't know if you know this, Andy, but this is a matchup of the number 5 and number 6 overall picks in the draft from a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
Remember that?
I do remember.
Burrow is obviously number 1. A lot of people thought Herbert should have gone over Tua. Other people thought it was an obvious choice.
DraftKings says Dolphins -1.5.
I think that's bettable.
Yeah, I just think it's probably a midpoint right now, waiting on the Tua news.
Yeah, because if it's Skylar Thompson, I'm not interested.
Also, Waddle. Yeah, Waddle came back in, had a catch. He got hurt very early, and he was out of the game for a big chunk of it. He came back in, made a catch.
Dude, I feel like I watched all of the football today, and I missed a bunch of shit. Thank you to our friends online who are commenting.
I'd forgotten because he did come back in, but that's something that might flare back up too. So keep an eye on that.
Huh.
Superbook has Miami -3 +100, so it's all over the place, guys.
Okay.
Colts just got a field goal. Matt Ryan. It looks like the Cowboys. Was it a punt? I believe it was a Cowboys got the ball 3.
Matthew Ryan, the Australian, the Socceroos goalie, is now playing for the Colts.
Probably.
Is that what you Matt Ryan kicked the field goal?
No, Cade McLaughlin. What's his first name?
Matt Ryan, the guard who got cut by the Lakers, is now in the Colts?
Probably. I don't follow NBA.
Oh.
Well, that's it.
There's a whole slew of Matt Ryans going around. The Socceroos goalie was a Matt Ryan. The Lakers had a Matt Ryan.
Speaking of Lakers,
the Colts brought a Matt Ryan back.
Some Kobe Memorial body armor drink today. I just thought it looked cool. It's purple. R.I.P. Mamba mentality, guys. All right.
Are you up in Colorado? Just getting some therapy?
I should go. I have family up there. I should go visit. I love Colorado.
Okay.
It's fun, but everyone's trying so hard to be weird. It's like Portland Light. Although I look like I should be at a microbrew in Colorado right now, guys. I just like this hat. So, all right. See you guys. Catch you at halftime. If you're watching this or listening on Monday, we'll catch you at halftime of the Monday game.
What was the best comment about your look? Yukon Cornelius or Steve Zissou? Were there any other potential lookalikes called out?